The girl was walking aimlessly on the street. The next second a passerby unexpectedly walked right through her body. The girl was instantly stunned and terrified. Before she could figure out what had happened, she noticed a group of people surrounding a crashed car discussing it. What was even scarier was that the victim of the accident was the passerby from earlier. Then she saw a ghostly figure take the passerby away. Before leaving, the ghostly figure yelled at the girl as if warning her not to interfere. The reason the girl was able to see these terrifying things was because of an eye surgery a month ago. Annie had been blind since she was 5 due to an accident. After enduring 15 years of darkness, finally a kind person donated their corneas to her. The doctor quickly performed the transplant surgery on Annie. As soon as Annie removed the eye patch, she rushed to the mirror, but could only see a blurry figure. Annie thought this was just the adjustment period after the corneal transplant. But one night, Annie saw what seemed like a shadow beside the elderly woman in the bed next to hers. The shadow led the elderly woman out of the room. Annie called out a few times in confusion, but the elderly woman did not respond to Annie. Curious, Annie went into the hallway. She noticed the elderly woman was getting closer and closer to her, but when Annie reached out to touch the elderly woman, she found no one was there. The next day when Annie woke up, she saw a nurse tidying the bed next to hers. She curiously asked where the elderly woman had gone. The nurse told her that the elderly woman had passed away the previous night. Annie was instantly stunned and frightened. Had she seen the elderly woman's soul yesterday? After this incident, Annie's spirits remained low. Fortunately, a little girl from the neighborhood often came to chat with Annie. Although the girl had leukemia, she was always optimistic about her treatment. The two of them naturally became good friends. When Annie was discharged from the hospital, she took a photo with the little girl. When Annie returned home, everyone was celebrating her recovery, but Annie seemed a little uneasy because she wasn't quite used to all of this, and since her discharge, she often felt like there were shadows passing by around her. These disturbances caused Annie to make frequent mistakes while reading sheet music. To comfort her, her teacher invited her to a cafe to talk, but just as the teacher stood up to get coffee, Annie saw a ghost again. The woman was staring at her fiercely, muttering strange words to herself.